there, and welcome to the Blogger's Guide to Cruising. I'm Julie Peasgood, and today we've got something a little bit different, as my guest is a professional watercolour artist who, for the past 10 years, has been sharing his passion for arts on board cruise ships around the world. Peter Woolley, thank you so much for joining me. Tell me how you got into doing your art on board cruise ships.
Well, thank you for inviting me here, by the way. It's great to be here. I think one day the idea popped into my head. It was as simple as that. And I was busy at home working, and I thought, I need a holiday. And the idea dropped into my head that artists work on cruise ships, and
yes.
and that was the start of it. I wrote off to in fact I didn't even know any cruise lines. I googled cruise ship operators and sent off a load of emails, and that was it basically. My details, I got a few Dear John letters back, but my details got passed on to an agency, and they contacted me and they said, we put artists on cruise ships, and that was it.
How clever, though, that it was your idea, because most people sort of are approached by the cruise ship and do you fancy doing this? But for you to think, ping, this would be great, double bubble. Yeah. I get to teach, I get to paint, teach other people, and I get a holiday at the same time. I don't know
where I really genuinely don't know where the idea came from.
But it was a corker.
It was a corker. Yeah, so I've never looked back. Yeah, no,
okay.
Good, yeah.
So, and I have to say at this point, I love your work. I know you've got greeting cards as well for all your paintings.
Thank
but
you.
The quality of light in your paintings is extraordinary. The dawn scenes, the snow scenes, the pink and the yellow skies. Do people, when they come on board, try and emulate you, or do you try and steer them into very much their own styles?
Ooh, it's a little bit of both, I think. I've always tried to encourage people to discover their own way of painting, because we all paint differently. Yeah. And I'm sure every tutor knows this, that you inevitably, what you don't want to do is churn out a load of clones of yourself. But part of the process is that you know, if you relate to a certain artist and their style, it's natural that you might want to emulate them. So I try to aim for a balance somewhere.
It must be very fulfilling for you to start off, say, at the beginning of a week or even a fortnight's cruise, and see people develop not just in their skill base but in their confidence level.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Is that
people are very hard on themselves and hypercritical of their own work as well. Again, all of that is quite natural. When on the cruise ships, I get a very mixed group. So I will have people that have literally never painted before, or maybe since school.
Yes, since school, yeah.
And then I also get people who clearly have painted before. So it's the challenge for me really is to produce a workshop or a class that is a balance, that appeals to to everybody. You can't please all the people all the time, but I tend to aim it at the people that have never done it before, and hope that I'm not alienating the people that have done it before. All in all, mostly they're there to have a bit of fun. It's to stop them. To keep them happy. That's what it's there for. We're part of the entertainment, really.
Well, obviously your classes are on sea days, because when people are in port, they're wanting to look around and sightsee. Do people sign up because they know that you are on board and going to be teaching, or do you think it's something that they look on your daily paper and think, oh my gosh, look, we can learn how to watercolour?
Again, a bit of both. I mean, I have have had people sort of contact me before a cruise saying, you know, very pleased to see that you're on board a certain ship and looking forward to having some classes with you. Watercolour just seems to be ridiculously popular. I don't know what it is.
It's quite hard too. It's not the easiest.
It's not easy, no. But it does seem to attract people, and we get some very large groups occasionally. Sometimes it's 50 people in a class. It is not unusual.
Gosh,
and,
really?
That's quite a large group to deal with for a couple of hours.
You bet. You probably only get round once, or
that's the problem. I mean, for me, I suppose the optimal or the optimum number would be maybe 15 to 20 people. It depends. Different ships operate slightly differently. I mean, on such as the Marco Polo, we use a small craft room. Actually, it's the conference room, but it's become the craft room, and it comfortably holds 20 people. Actually, you can squeeze 24 in there, but I go for 20. And that's nice because you're in a contained space, but because it only holds 20 people, it's not unusual for me to be running maybe 2 or 3 classes in a day just to meet the demand.
Yes, of course.
So everybody wants to
learn.
To do it, and you don't want to turn people away.
No. I'm going to come back to Marco Polo in a sec. I just want to say, do you have to ask, in case anybody's watching and thinking, well, I'd never thought of this, I'd love to do that. Do you provide all the materials?
Yes.
Right, people don't have to bring,
they
brushes.
They don't have to. It depends on the cruises. If it's a fly cruise, generally speaking, they will send out a list of materials to passengers to say, if you want to bring your own gear, then you can, and obviously it's a good thing if people can bring their own materials. But it depends on the ship. Very often some ships will provide kits, or on some ships I provide the kits. It's horses for courses. If you've not got any materials with you and you fancy having a go, everybody is welcome, and there's always equipment there for people to use. So,
that's great. Otherwise, on fly cruises, your overweight luggage, your baggage must be.
On the fly cruises, I have to say, generally the cruise line provide the kits.
Good.
I'm busy trying to keep my own weight down in the luggage, so I just carry my own art materials. I
said we'd go back to Marco Polo because I know you do a great many sailings with Marco Polo. She's one of my favourite ships as well, good old Cruise and Maritime. Sails from Tilbury, so that's good. So no real problem because it sails back into Tilbury. Why do you think, why do you love her?
She's just a beautifully classical ship.
She was the Alexander Pushkin.
She was indeed.
Originally Russian ship.
Very robust. I mean, anybody who's cruised before, you're going out to sea. Occasionally, you might meet with a little bit of rough weather. The Marco Polo just breezes through rough weather. She loves it. I mean, she was 50 years old last year. And I was on the 50th anniversary cruise to Greenland and Canada, and I just love the ship. I don't know, I've just got a massive soft spot for the Marco Polo, and she's a great old ship, and I think she's just going to go on for years and years.
I do too. I can identify. I saw the Northern Lights on board, and the cruise director Richard, who you must know, gave this wonderful sort of code. So you'd try and keep your clothes nearby, and then he'd say, I think it was rise. He said it's a code 4, and you'd think, oh, I'll lie here a bit longer. Then he'd say, code 5, getting better, code 5. And then it would be code 6. It was like, get dressed now. And when it was code 8, you'd shoot out onto the deck.
It happened with us as well. We did the Northern Lights a couple of years ago, and we had the same code. And it was great. Whatever you're doing, I mean, even if you're in the middle of a show, it's like, we've got a code 5, folks. And everybody dashes upstairs to... and we had a magnificent show of them right above the ship.
Did you?
It was really superb. Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. Other cruise lines that you've been on and enjoyed?
I've enjoyed them all. My very first cruise was on the Saga Ruby. That was the very first ship that I was put on. I was a little nervous, I have to say, because I'd never been on a cruise ship before, and here was I embarking on something new, and I think I had maybe a few preconceptions about. I thought, I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but I loved it, and it was to the Mediterranean. We went to Alexandria. I got to see the pyramids, and I'm thinking, this is awesome. The Saga ships, the Saga Ruby. The year after I went on the Saga Rose.
I've been on Saga Rose, but not Ruby.
I mean, this is 10 years ago. Yeah. Since then, I mean, I've worked on, I think, all of the Fred Olsen ships. Right. The Marco Polo, loads of times, and more recently the Voyager. Voyages of Discovery. Right. Nice little ship, very nice. And the Minerva, Swan Hellenic.
Right. I'd love to travel on Swan Hellenic. Minerva's quite small, isn't she?
Very small. 370 passengers, I believe, when it's full.
Which is nicer for you, because then you're going to get small, well, maybe not. I was going to say smaller classes. Maybe all 370 want to paint.
Probably, I think on there I was getting sort of between 20 and 30 people in a class. But the Minerva is just a different beast again. It's very, again, a very classical looking ship. I think that's what I like about the ships that I go on. I like them to look nice.
To be real ships.
I'll stand on the quayside and go, oh, she's a beautiful ship, that. And the Minerva is a beautiful ship. I'm very relaxed. There's something very relaxed about that ship. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's all to do with the staff and the crew. They're all so relaxed, and it's a great... and they're not paying me to say that either.
I think it might be to do with you.
Seriously.
You're so relaxed and laid back. I think it's coming from you. Don't go away. Stay with me, and please don't go anywhere, because we've got loads more questions, and we'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back to the Blogger's Guide to Cruising, and Peter Woolley, I'm glad to say, is still with me. Peter, what for you makes up a really good cruise experience? What are the most important aspects?
Well, destinations, I think, probably top of the list, and the food, of course.
Plentiful as it always is.
What makes a good cruise is, do you know what, I was going to say when everything goes according to plan, but I think that some of the more memorable cruises that I've been on are where things haven't gone to plan, and I think looking back on them, I think they were an adventure. Every cruise is an adventure. When you first board the ship, you don't know. All right, you've got an itinerary, but you don't know what's going to happen for those next 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Yeah. And I think that's for me that's the exciting part. But yes, top of the list has got to be destinations.
Any particular favourite ones that you've got?
Oh yes. This was quite an easy one to. I was thinking where because there are many favourites. Istanbul stands out as being a fantastic place, as does Havana in Cuba more recently. That was the recent cruise that I was on. I've never been there before, and it was a fantastic place. But having been on an Amazon trip several times, Manaus is also very high up on the list. But I'm going to say Ile de Salou, which is on the Amazon trip. When we've been down the Amazon and come back out and we're travelling up towards the Caribbean, we always stop off at Ile de Salou, which is in French Guiana. And Ile de Salou is it's actually 3 islands, one of which is Devil's Island, which is famous for Papillon. So if you know the Papillon story,
yes,
Devil's
Papillon.
Island. Now, Devil's
Steve
Island,
McQueen.
yeah, absolutely. So Devil's Island itself, nobody's allowed on there, but right next to it is Ile, I think it's Royale. Ile Royale is where the ship can't get in. You tender into port, and it's just a fantastic. It's like walking into a Walt Disney film. I mean, there's the dark side to the islands because of its history. I mean, it was a penal colony. All the old buildings are there, and there is an air of history about it, and that is fascinating. But the wildlife on there is just, there are turtles and monkeys and toucans and hummingbirds. It honestly, you just expect them to start talking to you any minute. It's just like it's just amazing island. Yeah, so Ile de Salou has to be top of the list.
Do you always take your pad and paints with you, or do you have a sort of holiday, or do you sometimes think, oh, I wish I could just capture this?
I do carry a sketch pad with me, but to be honest, because we're doing so much travelling, I tend to take just masses of photographs and video.
Right.
Actually, because on a ship you're constantly moving, I actually tend to take a lot of video as well.
And then will you paint from a video or a photograph?
With a video, you see, I can extract a frame and then I'll use that to paint from. But I just love to soak up the whole atmosphere.
Yes.
Really.
Just going back to crafting on cruises, I absolutely love crafting. I always, feel great joy when I think, oh, I can learn how to bead, I can do this, I can do that. But in my opinion, not enough lines have craft classes. They're not sort of 10 a penny. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree with that, actually. I think, on sea days, people like to have something to do, and crafts are a great, they keep idle hands busy. The thing that occurs to me, and that I, when talking to other crafters, actually, scrub that. Talking to other passengers, actually, a thing that has been said to me before about watercolour is that it appeals to both men and women, and that's the only thing that occasionally I've had people say to me, well, the crafts are, I'm trying to think of some examples of crafts, some things that
paper crafting,
but they seem to appeal more to the ladies than the gents.
We have many more women in the class. I think most times there's maybe one guy, and that would be for sort of painting boxes and decoupage. It's mostly women.
So I would say yes, more crafts, but also make sure you're balancing it up so you've got things that appeal to the fellas as much as the lasses.
Do you ever come across a passenger that is really skilled and that you think, oh wow, they've actually got something, and it might be somebody who maybe, I don't know, hasn't tried it since school? Does that happen?
Yes, it does, and it's always sort of it's a bittersweet thing, really, because what I often, particularly with people who clearly have a skill and have a very unique way of putting paint on paper. And I can spot that, and I'm thinking, this is fantastic. I really want to encourage this person to continue in this unique fashion and develop their unique way of doing things. The sad part about it is, for that person who is probably very new to the medium, all they can see is that they're not painting the same as they want to paint the same as everybody else. So it's a very different. That's a bit of a challenge at times, to try and encourage them and get them to see the good in their work. As I say, everybody's very hypercritical of themselves. So to try and get them to feel good about what they're doing, and to actually just to see that what they're doing is very unique.
Yeah,
I mean, I get some very talented people in the classes, scarily talented, some of them. But they all, you know, I like to try and keep the lessons accessible and as light as possible to appeal to all.
Final question for anybody who's watching who thinks, I think I'd like to try cruising, but they're a bit tentative, not ready to dip their toe in the water. What would you say about cruising?
Or just try it, just go for it and make your own opinion, and you know, don't necessarily listen to other people's opinions. I mean, before I went to Venice, the first time I went to Venice, or before I went to Venice, I had people say to me, "Oh, you won't like Venice. That's a horrible place." And I went, "But I've never been there. I want to make my own opinion." I loved it. I love Venice.
Yeah,
fantastic. But that's the thing is it is an opportunity to visit places that you've never been to before. You know, look at the itinerary.
Yeah.
Pick and do a little bit of research as well. It is worth, as me saying that, it's actually Tracy who does most of our research before we're going away. And she goes, right, we're going here, we're going there, we're going to do that excursion. And
well, that's part of the fun.
But that is part of the fun, is do your research before you go away, so that you have a rough idea in your mind of where you want to go. But yeah, just do it and enjoy it, and not. I know that's difficult. If you've never cruised before and it's your first time on a ship, you're naturally going to be maybe a little bit anxious about it. But you know, all the staff, the crew. I mean, I've never yet met you know, crew who are not highly professional at what they do, and. You know, if you're asked to do things, there's a good reason for it. You know, but they're, you know, just relax and enjoy it. Just enjoy it, because it is, you know, for some people it's a once in a lifetime thing.
And try and pick one with a cracking art teacher.
Absolutely, yes.
Like you.
Like
Thank you so much, Peter, for joining me. Thank you. Thank you to you for watching. I'll see you next time with another edition of the Blogger's Guide to Cruising. But bye for now.